How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial. This tutorial is going to be for After Effects, where we show one of the generator features for creating an audio spectrum effect. This is very useful if you want to lay down a music track within a video and have some kind of visual representation of that music file or audio track playing. Let's get straight into it. So for this example, for this tutorial, I'm going to be using a couple of test files that I've pre-prepared. One is actually a background file and the other is a sample music snippet just from a copyright-free track which I found on YouTube. First thing I'm going to do is just drag these two files into my project. What we now need to do is bring them down to our timeline area, where we can actually start building this together. So let's just select these two, bring them down here. Okay, now you can see here this is the length of the music track. It's around 17 seconds. The image file that we've got here, which is the background, that's actually only going to be shown for 2 seconds, so we need to extend that to there. So that means the background will show for the whole length of the audio track that we've got here. What we now need to do is create a new solid. So we're going to go to New Layer, Solid. It doesn't matter on the color of this because we're going to change that to a generator. So I'll just click OK. Now, as you can see, it's actually gone over the top of the image. That's fine. So what we do now is we go to Effect, Generate, and select Audio Spectrum. What we've got here, if you look in the middle of the screen, we can see the image and we've got this line here. Now, you can't really see it very well, but there's actually some red dots. That's actually going to be where the spectrum is going to be emitted from. So, the first thing we need to do is just open that up, go to Effects, here we go. Now you can do it up here if you want to. I'm just going to do it here. First we need to change the audio layer to select the music file. Just remove the background image for a while, for a second. You can see this a bit more clearly. So let's make some adjustments here. So I think we're going to be going with an inside color of, say, blue. Outside color, say, yellow. Going to change that to B only. Now if you look at this, we've got side options, A and B. A will be the top half of the waveform. This will make more sense once I've rendered it and you can see how it works. Side B is the bottom half. Let's increase the height a little bit. There we go. That's brought the height up a little bit. Now all of these things you can play around with and change it to how you like. You could even alter things like the thickness of the bars, the softness. What we're also going to do here is frequency bands. Now this is how many of these lines we've got going across here. So I'm just going to bring that up a bit because I fancy having a few more. There you go. It's entirely up to you, however many you want. Now if I just pre-render that in RAM, okay, so you can see that kind of move in there. That's what it's going to kind of look like while it's playing the track. So one of the other settings we've got here is hue interpolation. Now this is pretty cool because what we can do here is we can change the way the colors look on this particular spectrum analyzer. So I'm just going to hover my mouse over this value here, drag to the right, and you'll see the colors changing. Let's just make this a little bit larger for you to see. This will give it a bit more of a nicer effect as it's when it's playing. Let's go back. Yeah, I quite like that. You can also change the thickness. Oh, that's too much. Oh, you might like that. Let's do that. There's so many settings here, so if you want to play around with this, I would probably advise that, just so that you can tune it and tweak it to exactly how you want it to look. At the moment, we're just viewing the actual graph itself, so obviously there's options here for you to tweak it on how you want it to look. Okay, so let's just put the background image back in, and we can see there very faintly. It's quite faint there, actually, to be honest. It's not overly overpowering. If you can't see the spectrum analyzer very clearly, then you can obviously increase the thickness or change the colors so that it can be seen easier. If you want to, you can add some text. Just like that. If you want to change the position of this, be quite easily done just by making sure you've got the right one selected in the timeline area. And now I'm going to render this. Now when it comes to rendering, I would recommend to do the following. Click where it says lossless, go to format options, go to where it says video codec and change it from animation to H.264. This will give us a nice compatibility with our video editors. Click OK, click OK again, and click render. Okay, so with our render finished, we should now be able to see that this file has been created on our desktop, which we have here. I believe it's this one called Mountains. Let's just double click on it and have a look at it. There you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Until the next video, take care. Yeah.